The stuntmen around here are the great crew behind what we do at Infowars.com. Don't forget, it's not just me. It's our board ops, our directors, our IT people, the webmasters, the people in customer service, the folks shipping the books and videos and T-shirts out from the Infowars.com store. And it's all of you. We appreciate the team. We're about to go to Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. I want to give her the latest info. I know she's been watching the news and researching herself and been in Mexico reporting for us since Monday, now back in the United States. But I want to give everybody the latest news and information. Now, 2 days ago, I told you that when they said we're at level 4, we're really at level 5 was the intel I had. Then they announced yesterday, hey, we've really been at level 5. And under level 5, they can do quarantines, mass arrest, forced inoculations. That's in the CDC mandates that we've posted at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, the United Nations documents. And I have all of those right here in front of me. And I'll be going over those with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny in a moment. The World Health Organization checklist for influenza pandemic preparedness planning, epidemic alert and response. They're in control of the United States. Reuters reports the WHO, World Health Organization, of the UN is directing everything. It talks about forced inoculation, roundups, quarantines, and that'll be implemented under level 5. Now, I was already getting from my sources inside FEMA and other places, but they wouldn't give me documentation because they said that the computers were being tracked and monitored. I was told that we were going to level 6 yesterday morning, and then they announced level 5, and I said on air, they say we're at 5, we're really at 6. Then I was contacted by a school administrator at the AISD, Austin Independent School District, here in town. And this, we wrote an article about it. I wanted Paul to do one last night, but he was exhausted at 8 o'clock at night because that's 2 a.m. England time. He went to bed. Kurt Nimmo couldn't write a story because InfoWars was hacked repeatedly and brought down, so he couldn't get into it to upload from New Mexico, where he lives, unfortunately, near the border. And so we didn't get it up till this morning. And the headline is, and this headline does not do it justice, Paul. I'm not knocking you, but we need to really point out how dire things are. You know, the media is fear-mongering and then saying everything's fine as a psych warfare op. We need to show what's really going on here and explain to people. Texas doctor claims swine flu cases far worse than reported. We need to add, says that feds have stated they're at level 6. Level 6. The country is under level 6. Now, I'm telling you we're under level 6. That's what's being announced. That's what's being done. In their actions, the things they're announcing is a level 6 response. Joe Biden comes out and says, don't get on planes, don't get on trains. Mexico is completely shutting everything down, including the government. They're starting to shut down roads and transport. This means they believe it is mega deadly. And as in mega, I mean millions of dead. And the UN and others are saying millions and millions could die. They're out fear-mongering. I have those reports. In fact, I was looking in my stack. I printed it this morning. Will you guys print millions dead flu, and then it'll pull up the UN and others saying millions could die. Now, I'm not saying that. They're saying that, and I can't even keep track of how insane this is now. This is the actual document. Earlier, we just took excised parts out and put it in Paul's article. We're going to post the document itself, but blacked out the area so you don't find out who sent it to us. This message, including all attachments, is for the sole use of intended recipients and may contain confidential students and or employee information. Unauthorized use and disclosure is prohibited under the Federal Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. And it goes through the codes. If you are not an intended recipient, you may not use, disclose, copy, or disseminate the information. Please call and send her immediately a reply. Well, we were given this by an administrator, so that's their issue. Now, I'm sorry, we're going to tell people what the feds are telling the state. This is from an administrator in health. That's all I can say, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say whether it's a middle school, an elementary, or high school. This is from Austin, Texas. I know this person. Period. This is first hand. You understand? Flu update from Dr. Gitterle, Gitterle, and we have his full name up on PrisonPlanet.com. Marcus Gitterle. Out of New Braunfels, Texas. And Paul put in here to his patients, I told Paul to correct that, and I'm not bashing anybody, it's crazy up here. This was an internal thing to school administrators, okay? He's working with the school. That's the school district where they've shut down the schools where they have the first cases in Texas. Okay, reported Saturday. After I returned from the public health meeting yesterday with community leaders and school officials in Comal County, Heather suggested I send an update to everyone because what we are hearing privately from the CDC and health department is so different from what you're hearing in the media. Some of you know, so some of you, or maybe all of you, but I will just list the facts that I know. The virus is infectious for about 2 days prior to symptoms onset. The virus sheds more than 7 days after symptom onset, possibly as long as 9 days. That's a total of 11 days. Since it is such a novel, new virus, there is no herd immunity, so the attack rate is very high. This is the percentage of people come down with a virus if exposed. Almost everyone who is exposed to the virus will become infected, though not all will be symptomatic. This is much higher than seasonal flu, which averages 10 to 15%. The clinical attack rate may be around, this is a quote from the feds, he says, may be around 40 to 50%. That is the number of people who show symptoms. This is a huge number. It is hard to convey the seriousness of this. The virulence or deadliness of the virus is as bad here as in Mexico. Now, that's the question we've always been needing the answer. Is it race-specific? Is it chemical-specific because of the toxic waste and the people being run down in Mexico, the poor? One of the biggest and poorest cities in the world. Reportedly the biggest and poorest. Okay, now, and I'm getting this from other doctors and other people, okay? You understand this is being confirmed right now. The virulence, deadliness of the virus is bad. Is as bad as here in Mexico. The virulence and deadliness of the virus is as bad here as in Mexico, and there are folks on ventilators here in the U.S. right now. This has not been in the media, but a 23-month-old, see, this was Tuesday night, and then he died the next morning. So this went out Tuesday night. I got this yesterday. See, this is confirmed, time-stamped. He knew about this from the feds before. He's in New Braunfels, south of Austin. He knows about the baby beforehand. But a 23-month-old near here is fighting for his life, and a pregnant woman just south of San Antonio is fighting for her life. In Mexico, these folks might have died already, but here in the U.S., folks are getting Tamiflu and Resolene quickly and have ready access to ventilators. We just got a secret Pentagon document confirmed that says the Tamiflu, the military is admitting, doesn't help the troops, by the way. What this means is that within a couple of weeks, regional hospitals will likely become overwhelmed. Did you hear that? Some of the kids with positive cases in Comal County had more than 70 contacts before diagnosis. That means they're saying 35 of them will get it. There are 10 to 25 times more actual cases, not possible cases, actual. Do you hear that? Than what is being reported in the media. This is 2 days ago. The way they fudge on reporting this is that it takes 3 days to get the confirmatory nod from the CDC to give viral culture. But based on epidemiological grounds, we know that there are more than 10 cases for each confirmed case right now. Now, here's the key. During the night, we crossed the threshold. This is 30 plus hours ago. I don't know how many hours ago is 10 o'clock Tuesday night. How many hours is that? More than 36. During the night, we crossed the threshold for the definition of the World Health Organization Phase 6 global pandemic. This has not happened in any of our lifetimes so far. We are in uncharted territory. They've now announced it's a global pandemic, by the way. I expect President Obama will declare emergency sometime in the next 72 to 96 hours. This may not happen, but if it does, I will be surprised if it doesn't. When this happens, all public gatherings will be canceled for 10 days. I suggest all of us avoid public gatherings. Outdoor activities are not as likely to lead to infection. It is contained areas and close contact that are the biggest risk. And it goes on. I got to go to Tenpenny because I'm coming up on TV in a minute, and I apologize to her for talking the last 8-9 minutes, but I had to put this out. Then Biden. We have this last night. And we're so conditioned around here that, you know, for incredible news, we don't even really do a story on it. There's no sleeping anymore for my crew. This is what everything we've been working towards to fight. It's now coming to a head. Where the whole world's listening to us, literally tens of millions right now. We are exploding right now. We are fighting the enemy. We are engaging the enemy. We are in the X-Wings, in the trenches, on the Death Star's butt right now. We are on their tail. And this is life and death. We have got to get the maximum effort, and everybody has got to mirror all the stories at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, because we are under unbelievable attacks confirmed right now to shut us down.